Gunshots and school bells ringing the same cadence. Where the wrong statement can get you suspension or shot because the pension is not a lifeline. Well, lifetimes the quarterback yelling plays on Mondays have turned into women yelling 6 ways to Sunday. Well, arguments with students have turned into rapists. But the only way to escape this hell is distortion, disguise, and distortion, because graduation is only known to some, as Kanye's ready to leave. If you want to know the state of the streets, look no further than the schools. The inner cities, insufficiently funded institutions where inopportune and inadequate students face insurmountable odds. But the guise of inequity, breaking ever being injudiciously upon infamous individuals inbred from parenting in absentia and an increase in the price of living. What happens when giving your life for a particular shade of color, or 16 being new age of mothers become so common that it doesn't even make local news. Where breaking the schools, local rules, and federal laws have become one and the same. Where a person with a gun and a chain can enter undetected, unaffected by the lesson that teachers are being taught to teach. How can one preach, build schools, not prisons, when I've been in both and I don't know the difference? What happens when the deaf ears need to hear my message rejected simply because I'm not rapping? I'll tell you what happens. Not a thing. Daily incidents tend to bring news cameras around, but sort of like Aaliyah said, no resolution is to be found. These institutions are in the ground. Intrusions are so astounding that they rise like dropout rates. Open the floodgates like bombs over Bush's levees, causing a steady increase in student death toll. I spit fire to nothing's left and my breath's cold, but success and silence are oxymoronic like fresh mold. I spit a story not yet told. After L tab 07, things should have been looking up for SPEINMETV, but see we be a white-owned slave strip like BET. Our victory was not so SWEET. The documentary proves as much CTV, but nothing CHANGED. And those final 3 letters tell the story of the culmination of 4 years at that school. 1 year for each leaf on the clover, cleverly combined with the students lucky enough to bypass that fate. Myself being one of only 3 black males from my division who received the diploma after my 4-year sentence. Adding another dimension to the list of insurmountable odds this sir has mounted. We play blackjack with the hand like Delta since society learns to count it, yet people wonder why a lot of us don't make us 21. And many run from the truth, but there's very few ways left to run for what's right. See, I don't write to get sight to the blind, I simply write with the times, but it ain't no sunshine in the Chicago sunshine, so I spit these punchlines since one time can't come find one crime in our public schools with publication. And this republic nation that we live in, there are resemblance to the school system. School lunch and vending machine prices rise like gas and taxes in corner stores. George Bush and Arnie Duncan both babysit meaningless wars. The rich get richer while the poor get poor. Prep school fights drop like Steinmeier's test scores. Probation years phase 4. Yet you question what we're enraged for. Severely underfunded, yet we wonder what teachers is paid for. These problems going noise, what you think we need a stage for? Fuck a competition. What you think we counting grades for? This past year, we buried 27 students to fatal gunshots. Most of them were innocent, some of them were not, but how can we not be weary for the future when it's getting gunned down and no one stops the shooter? What happens in neighborhoods where gunshots tend to ring louder than the bombs? Where moms leave tears on headstones like poets on stages after unbelievable victories? Where black war memorials hang on poles like poetry plaques hang on walls, both equally going unnoticed? What happens when the sound of the ground and bullet cases replaces hand slapping and finger snapping? I'll tell you what happens. Not a damn thing. And if you're going to teach, build schools, not prisons, then please show our youth the difference.